Order of operations, fluid intake. When calculating a patient's fluid intake, healthcare professionals will need to use a system called order of operations. The term operations refers to the action that is taken as multiply, divide, add, or subtract. There is a certain order that has to be followed when using these operations in order to ensure the correct answer is obtained. So, to help us remember the order, we can think of the saying, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." So let's go ahead and write that. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So, P stands for please, but really it means inside the parentheses. E, which is excuse, is for exponents. My dear stands for multiply and divide. And lastly, the last step will be Aunt Sally, which stands for add and subtract. We'll work on things in this order. So now let's apply this to the following scenario. Example 1. Edward drank 3 coffees that were 12 ounces each, 2 glasses of water that were 6 ounces each, and half of a 6-ounce cup of juice. How much fluid has Edward consumed? So to answer this question, let's write out the numbers we have. So we have 3 coffees that are 12 ounces each. So to account for each one, we will multiply 3 times 12. Then we have 2 glasses of water that were 6 ounces each. So we have 2 times 6. And then we have half of a 6-ounce cup of juice. So that is 6 divided by 2. So for this, we will need to add all of these together to get the total amount of fluid. So we will just add a addition sign between them. So remembering what we have of please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, we will look to see if we have any parentheses, which we don't. We don't have exponents. So now we look for multiplication division symbols, which we do. So we will do these first. So working left to right, 3 times 12 is 36, plus 2 times 12 is 12, or 2 times 6, which is 12, plus 6 divided by 2, which is 3. So for a total, we get, as we have just done our multiplication and division, now we add and subtract. So 36 plus 12 is 48, plus 3 is 51. And this is the number of ounces. Next, let's look at another equation. For this equation, we're going to use these numbers. So let's first write out the please excuse my dear Aunt Sally off to the side to keep us on track. First, we solve everything within the parentheses. Looking in the parentheses, we need to use the order of operations once again. At this point, let's look at the rules to the right to see how we go about this. So we are already inside the parentheses, so now we look at E, which is for exponents. And since the negative sign is not attached to the number, in the parentheses, we leave the negative sign in the front. So we solve the exponent first. So this is 7 minus 5 times 5 times 5 plus 15 divided by 3. So 5 times 5 is 25. Times 5 is 125, as 5 times 5 is 25. So put the 5 below, carry the 2. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 2, which is 12. So we have 7 minus 125 plus 15 divided by 3. So we're still working inside our parentheses, and so now we're left with a subtraction problem. So positive 7 is subtracted. You have negative 125 plus 7 essentially. And this means that we're becoming more positive or less negative. And so the answer for this is negative 118. Another way to look at this, if this helps, is you can do 125 minus 7, but then just remember you have that negative sign to work with later. This will also give you the right answer, as sometimes it's easier to think of the larger number as positive. So whatever works for you. So now we add plus 15 divided by 3. So looking at our steps, we've done the parentheses. We don't have any more exponents, so we can do our multiplication division problem, which is right here. So negative 118 plus 15 divided by 3, which is 5. And so now we are left with just this last step. So negative 118 plus 5. Once again, we are becoming less negative. So we become negative 113.